The reason that's happening is because I still have the original surface connected into the Simulate Rigid Bodies node. I don't really want to use the Simulate Rigid Bodies to calculate the collisions. With simpler obstacles, definitely, but in this case with a more complicated collision, I'm going to use the bounce off surface compound. So I noticed that some of the particles are still getting away, so I'll just move this even closer, and I have to just orient it a little better. So just so we can see how it works, we can now see that we're getting our particles to follow the surface of the actual of the terrain. There's quite a bit of friction on there. You can see that the particles are sticking and they don't really want to move too much. If I increase the speed, and I might even have to increase the height as well too. Again, we need to have a proper surface area for the particles to emit. So if I lower the speed again, we can see how the effect plays out. If I want to exaggerate the motion with which the particles fall, because they do seem to be finding a lot of these pockets and just sticking there without rolling down the hill, we can even take our terrain and give it a steeper angle. So I'll do that. I'll just switch and just angle the terrain to have a much greater slope. I'll switch to a global mode. And just do a little arranging here. All right, maybe just a little bit more. And there we go. So that'll work much better now. I can just arrange the grid so it aims at me. I'll just move it up a little higher. So let's hit play. We'll still be able to take our grid and move it back a little further because our emission is shooting quite far. There we go. So now we're really starting to get the particles moving the way we want. They're all colliding with one another, and they're following the terrain of the surface. So what I'd likely do next here is start to work with the amount of friction and the speed with which the particles roll down the hill.